Hello there and welcome. I am so glad you're here today. Have you ever thought about how to talk about your day in English? You know, the simple things like waking up, working, and relaxing. Sometimes it can feel a little tricky, right? Well, I have some good news. It's actually much easier than you think. It really comes down to just two big ideas: talking about your routines, the things you do every day, and talking about what is happening right now at this very moment. In this explainer, we are going to walk through this together, step by step, and make the difference between these two ideas perfectly clear. Okay, let's dive right in. Take a look at these two sentences. They look similar, but they mean very different things. Let's start with the one on the left. I eat breakfast every day. The key words there are every day. This sentence isn't just about today. It's about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's a habit, a routine. It's something that is always true for you. Now let's look at the sentence on the right. I am eating breakfast right now. Do you see the difference? This one is not about every day. This is about this exact moment. It's happening as we speak. The action is in progress. Getting this small difference right, well, that's the secret to sounding really natural when you speak English. So to make this super easy to understand, let's imagine a day. We are going to follow a person through a totally normal day, from the moment they wake up until they go to bed. And as we go, we'll see exactly when they talk about their routines and when they talk about what's happening right now. It's like we're telling a story. All right, let's begin in the morning. Every day starts with things we do over and over again. These are our habits, our routines. To talk about these kinds of actions, we use something called the simple present tense. So, for example, you could say, I wake up at 6:30 every day. This is a routine. It happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day. Some other morning routines could be, I brush my teeth. You do that every day, right? Or I take a shower. I drink coffee. All of these are actions that happen again and again. So for all of them, we use the simple present. It's nice and simple. But what if we change our view? Let's zoom in on one specific moment. So your routine is, I drink coffee every morning. That's the simple present. But imagine it's 7 a.m. and you have a warm cup of coffee in your hand. What is happening in that exact moment? You would say, I am drinking coffee. We use this for an action that is happening right now, an action that is in progress. It's a temporary thing. You won't be drinking that same cup of coffee forever, right? The action started, but it's not finished yet. That's the key. Okay, let's move forward in our day to the afternoon. Does the rule change? Nope, not at all. It's exactly the same idea. When we talk about a habit or a routine, like having lunch, we say, I have lunch at noon. The word noon means 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. This is part of a schedule, a daily routine. And because it's a routine, we use that same tense again, the simple present. See how it works? But what if something happens during your lunch break? Imagine your phone rings. It's your boss. He asks, are you working on the report? Well, at that moment, you are not at your desk. You're eating. So you would say, I am not working right now. I am relaxing. This is a perfect example. Your bigger routine is that you work during the day. But for this short, temporary time, this specific moment, you are relaxing. This shows an action that is in progress, or, in this case, not in progress. Now let's jump to the end of the workday. Once again, we have routines that mark the end of our day. For instance, I finish work at 5:30. This happens every weekday. It's predictable. It's a routine. So what tense do we use? You got it, the simple present. You might also say things like, I cook dinner, or I go to the gym. These are all regular actions, regular habits. Okay, so you're home, you've had dinner. What are you doing specifically tonight? At this very moment? Maybe you'd say, I am watching TV. Or, even better, you could say, I am learning English right now with me. This describes the specific action that is happening this evening, right now. It's not necessarily a routine for every single night, but it's what's in progress at this moment. Okay, perfect. We've just walked through an entire day and seen so many great examples. You're getting the feel for it now, I can tell. So, let's pause the story and look a little closer at the rules. We're going to break it all down so you can feel really confident when you use these tenses yourself. Let's review. First, we have the simple present. We use this tense for a couple of important things. The big one is habits and routines, things you do regularly, again and again. Just like the example here, I drink coffee every morning. We also use the simple present for facts, for things that are generally true. For example, the Earth goes around the sun, or I live in Brazil. These are facts. So remember, simple present is for routines, habits, and facts. And on the other hand, we have the present continuous. This one is all about now. It's for actions that are happening right at the moment of speaking or actions that are in progress. For instance, right now, I am speaking, and right now, you are listening to this. The action is happening as we speak. It puts everything right in this very moment. It's also used for temporary actions happening around the present time, like, I am reading a very interesting book, which means you started it and haven't finished it yet. All right, now for the really useful part. How do we build these sentences? Let's look at this chart. Think of it like a recipe. First, let's look at the top row. For the simple present, the one for routines. For a positive sentence, you just use the verb. I work. You study. It's that simple. For a negative sentence, you need a little helper. Do not, or what we usually say, don't. So, I don't work. And for a question, that helper do moves to the front. Do you work? Easy. Now for the bottom row, the present continuous. This one has two key parts. Always remember this. You need the verb to be, that's am, is, or are, and you need the main verb with ing at the end. So for a positive sentence, I am working. For a negative, just add not. I am not working. And for a question, just switch the first two words. Are you working? This chart is so helpful, so feel free to pause and just study it for a minute. To help you start talking about your own day, here are some really common and useful verbs. Let's go through them together and make a simple routine sentence for each one. First one, wake up. You could say, I wake up at 7 o'clock. Next, get dressed. I get dressed before breakfast. How about take the bus? I take the bus to school. Have lunch. We have lunch together. Start work. I start work at 9. Finish work. She finishes work at 6. Relax. They relax in the evening. And finally, go to bed. I go to bed at 10:30. Now try it yourself. Make a sentence about your routine for each of these verbs. Okay, you have done so well. We've seen examples, we've looked at the rules, and we've learned some new words. I think it's time for a quick, fun quiz to check your understanding. Don't worry, it's not a serious test. It's just a chance to practice. Are you ready? Let's do it. Here is our first question. Imagine your friend is with you right now. He has headphones on. What would you ask? I'll give you a moment to think. Okay, so the key here is that it's happening right now. And for actions happening right now, we use the present continuous. So the correct answer is he listening to music? Perfect. If you got that right, fantastic job. We are asking about the action in this specific moment. Question number 2. Someone wants to ask about your normal morning habit. What is the correct question to ask about your routine? Take a second. All right, let's break it down. The question is about your normal morning habit. It's a routine, and for routines, we use the simple present. So, the correct question is, do you drink coffee? Great. The other question, are you drinking coffee right now, would only be for this very moment. You are doing great. Okay, and now for our last question. This one is for you. I am asking you directly. What are you doing at this moment? Think about your answer. You could say, I am watching this, or I am learning English, or maybe I am sitting on a chair. All of those answers use the present continuous because they describe what is happening right now. See, you're using it already. You've done wonderfully with all of that. You understand the rules, you've seen the examples. But now comes the most important part of all. Knowing something is good, but using it is what really makes it yours. So let's talk about how to take what you've learned and turn it into a real habit. It's time to go from learning to doing. And as you start to practice, I want you to remember this quote. It's so important. Learning is not about perfection. It's about consistency. This means you don't have to be perfect. You are going to make mistakes, and that's completely okay. Everybody does. The secret to getting better is not about being perfect today. The secret is practicing a little bit today, and then a little bit more tomorrow, and the next day. That small daily effort, that consistency, is what leads to real success. So, here's your simple action plan, a very easy way to practice every single day. Step 1, in the morning, just say a few sentences about your routine out loud. You can say, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I get dressed. You are practicing the simple present. Step 2, a few times during the day, just stop and notice what you're doing. Then say it. If you're walking, say, I am walking. If you are eating, say, I am eating lunch. Now you are practicing the present continuous. Step 3. This is the most important step. Just do it again tomorrow. It only takes a minute or two each day, but this simple habit is so powerful. And that brings us to the end. You now have everything you need to talk about your life in English. You know how to talk about your routines, and you know how to talk about what's happening right now. The real learning starts now when you start to use it. So I'll leave you with one final question to get you started. What is one small thing you were doing tomorrow to practice what you learned today? Think about it and make a plan. Thank you so much for your time and for learning with me. Keep up the amazing work.